Have you ever heard of a king in whose court stood not just men, but terrifying jinn with their hands bound in respect? A ruler so powerful that without his command, not even a single gust of wind could change its direction? Legend says he possessed a miraculous ring that held the deepest secrets of the entire universe. When Prophet Solomon invited all creatures, what happened that made him immediately fall into prostration? But have you seen that chilling moment when even after his death, the jinn continued to serve him for an entire year, paralyzed by fear? Today, we are uncovering the hidden secrets of Prophet Sulaiman's life, mysteries that have been concealed from the world for centuries. Prepare yourself, because this is not just a story, it is a grand miracle. The world has witnessed many legendary rulers: Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, and the mighty Roman emperors. But deep within the archives of history, there is a name whose reign extended beyond the land and into the very winds. His army consisted not only of men, but of formidable jinn and disciplined legions of birds. He was Prophet Sulaiman, the messenger who asked Allah for a kingdom so unique that it would never be granted to anyone until the end of time. Today, we reveal the stories of his life that have often remained hidden behind the veil of time. Have you ever wondered why the jinn feared him so deeply, or how he learned the secret languages of the birds? Prepare yourself for a journey where miracles become reality. Prophet Sulaiman was the son of Prophet David. From his childhood, his intelligence was so profound that he could solve the most complex legal cases in an instant. When Prophet David passed away, Sulaiman asked Allah for a kingdom that would belong to no one after him. The Holy Quran records his prayer: "My Lord, forgive me and grant me a kingdom such as will not belong to anyone after me." Surah Sad 35. Allah accepted his prayer and granted him 4 extraordinary gifts. 1. Command over the winds. He could travel distances that took months in a single day. 2. Subjugation of the jinn. Even the most rebellious jinn worked as his servants. 3. The language of animals, mantiq at-tayr, the knowledge to understand the speech of birds and animals. 4. The fountain of molten copper. Allah made copper flow like water for him, allowing for magnificent architectural feats. Sulaiman's grandest project was the construction of Haykal-i-Sulaimani, the Temple of Sulaiman Bayt-ul-Muqaddas. He assigned the jinn to this massive task. These jinn would dive into the depths of the ocean to retrieve pearls and carve colossal stones from the mountains. The secret few know: the jinn lived in absolute terror of Prophet Sulaiman. This was because he possessed a miraculous signet ring inscribed with the Ismi Azam, the greatest name of Allah. With the power of this ring, he could imprison them. Any jinn who dared to disobey his command was punished and bound in heavy iron chains. Once, Sulaiman was traveling with his vast army. The host was so immense that the very earth vibrated. As they passed through a valley, he heard a tiny voice. It was an ant, warning its colony. "O ants, enter your dwellings, lest Solomon and his hosts crush you while they perceive not." Surah Namal 18. Sulaiman smiled upon hearing this. He halted his entire army and thanked Allah. This event teaches us that even a mighty king must care for the smallest of creatures. In Sulaiman's court, even the birds had to give their attendance. One day, the hoopoe was missing. Sulaiman declared, "If he does not bring a valid reason, I shall punish him." Shortly after, the hoopoe arrived with news that changed history. He spoke of a land in Yemen called Saba Sheba, ruled by a woman, Bilqis. She possessed a magnificent throne, yet her people worshipped the sun instead of Allah. Prophet Sulaiman sent a letter. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful, do not be haughty against me, but come to me in submission as Muslims. When Queen Bilqis decided to visit Sulaiman, he asked his council, "Who among you can bring me her throne before she arrives here?" A powerful jinn Ifrit said, "I will bring it before you rise from your seat." But there was another man who possessed knowledge of the book, Asif bin Barkia. He said, "I will bring it to you within the blink of an eye." And it happened. The throne, located hundreds of miles away, appeared instantly. When the queen arrived and saw the floor of his palace made of glass so clear she thought it was deep water, she was overwhelmed by his wisdom and proclaimed, "I have submitted myself to the Lord of the worlds." A case was brought to Prophet Sulaiman's court that is still studied in legal philosophy today. Two women were claiming ownership of the same baby. Prophet Sulaiman said, "Divide this child into 2 pieces and give one to each." The real mother cried out in agony, "No! Give the baby to the other woman, but do not kill him." Prophet Sulaiman immediately understood that the woman willing to give up her claim to save the child's life was the true mother. The greatness of Prophet Sulaiman was evident from his very childhood. In the Holy Quran, specifically in Surah Al-Anbiya, a remarkable event is mentioned. 2 men, a farmer and a shepherd, came to King David for a judgment. The farmer was distraught, crying, "Last night, this man's sheep strayed into my field and grazed until my entire crop was destroyed." King David initially ruled that as compensation for the loss, the shepherd must give his entire flock to the farmer. However, Prophet Sulaiman, who was only a young boy at the time, spoke up, "O father, I have a better solution." He suggested, "Let the farmer take the sheep temporarily to benefit from their milk and wool. Meanwhile, let the shepherd take the farmer's land and work it until the crops are restored to their original state. Once the field is as it was before, they should return each other's property." King David was stunned by the brilliance of this solution. This was the wisdom that proved Allah had chosen Prophet Sulaiman not just for a kingdom, but for divine justice, adal-i-ilahi. You often hear that the jinn worked for Prophet Sulaiman, but it is rarely explained how he maintained such absolute control over them. Historical records mention that Solomon commanded 2 types of jinn. 1. The shayateen evil jinn. These were the rebellious spirits. Prophet Sulaiman kept them bound in heavy iron chains. He forced them to dive into the deepest parts of the ocean to retrieve precious corals and pearls. 2. The Ifrit, powerful giants. These were ancient, colossal beings capable of moving mountains. Prophet Sulaiman commanded them to build massive cooking pots, pots so large they were compared to swimming pools. Once, when a rebellious jinn tried to stage a revolt, Prophet Sulaiman imprisoned him in a copper vessel and cast it into the sea. This event proves that Solomon's reign was built on the strictest military discipline. In his court, every jinn and every bird had an attendance register, and disappearing without permission was considered a grave offense. Have you ever wondered why Prophet Sulaiman never felt the heat of the sun while he traveled? Allah assigned the birds in his army the duty of interlocking their wings to create a moving canopy of shade above him. The Hoopoe Hudhud was not just a spy, he was a master engineer. It is believed the Hoopoe possessed a unique vision that allowed him to see water flowing deep beneath the earth's surface. When the army was thirsty, the Hoopoe would point to a spot, and the jinn would dig a well in a matter of minutes. Prophet Sulaiman famously said, "We have been taught the speech of birds. This miracle makes him the world's first environmentalist." He would ask the birds about the conditions in distant lands. receiving intelligence that even his human spies could not gather. Once, Prophet Sulaiman had a thought, "I wish to host a feast for all of Allah's creation." Allah told him, "O Solomon, this is not a task you can handle." But Solomon insisted. He commanded the jinn to set up thousands of giant pots and cook for months. When the feast was ready, a magnificent whale rose from the sea. In just one mouthful, she ate every single bit of food laid out on the miles of tables. She then cried out, "O Prophet Sulaiman, feed me more, I am still hungry." Solomon was speechless. He asked, "Do you eat this much every day?" The whale replied, "Allah provides me with 3 times this amount every single day." Solomon immediately fell into prostration sajda, realizing that only Allah is the provider ar-Razak, regardless of how powerful a king may be. The life of Prophet Sulaiman is a profound lesson for us all. He showed that if Allah grants power, it must be used to serve His creation. His unique death proved that the knowledge of the unseen ilm-e-ghaib belongs to Allah alone. Even today, the ancient stones of Jerusalem stand as a witness to His majesty. Whether human or jinn, we must all one day stand before our Creator. The Quran states that if the jinn truly had knowledge of the unseen ghaib, they would not have remained in such agonizing toil for so long. The death of Prophet Sulaiman is one of the greatest lessons for the world. He wished for the construction of Bayt al-Muqaddas to be completed. He stood in prayer, leaning on his staff. When the angel of death arrived, his body remained standing, supported by the staff. The jinn believed he was alive and watching them, so they continued their grueling labor for an entire year out of fear. Finally, Allah sent a tiny termite to eat through the staff from the inside. When the staff finally broke and Prophet Sulaiman's body fell, the jinn realized their king had passed long ago. Prophet Sulaiman ruled for 400 years, according to traditions. His life teaches us that no matter how much power, wealth, or authority over the jinn one attains, a human must always remain humble before Allah. His ring was lost, his throne is gone, but his name lives on forever. Friends, we hope this journey through the life of Prophet Sulaiman has touched your heart. Comment Subhanallah and let us know which of his miracles amazed you the most. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Allah Hafiz.